Well, welcome back to another edition of Basement Thoughts. So, this is what my week looked like, and I have two issues here, two topics. Got speaker placement again. As you can see, I moved things around, I took things out, I listed all my small speakers on Marketplace. That's one of the topics. The other topic will be the subwoofer that way earlier in my adventure with this, I downplayed. And it could possibly be that the two black subwoofers that are on the floor that the JBLs are sitting on were my influence to that. Spitting outwards, they sound all right. They're not hooked up. They haven't been hooked up in a while. But I actually had them facing towards the floor, down firing like the silver sub you see in front of you right now, which is a Yamaha that's 17 years old. The speakers are hanging on the wall around here. That was the original sound system, surround. And I had it hooked up once before, but when I turned the system off, I would get this tremendous hum out of the speaker, and the system was literally off. So, as you know, REL and SVS are putting their stuff on sale the last couple of weeks, and I was trying to find a comparison to tell me that I'm wrong about the subs. Well, REL did put up a video, and that's a whole other subject. If you're going to be an influencer on YouTube, stop always worrying about your paycheck and let's see some examples. I don't want to hear your word. I get words a lot from people, and most of the times they're bullshitting me. I want to see action. Make a comparison like I'm doing here. Stop worrying about your paycheck all the time. Build some creds, because you don't have any creds with me, no matter who you are, until you do it. The only few people that do are JE Labs, Dr. J, I think it is, and at New Day Records. At least he plays music. It might be his music, but build some damn creds up if you're going to try to tell us what's good and what's not good. Anyway, so let's get back to that sub. So, REL put up something showing what probably is just it was a speaker about the size of the stand that my CD player is sitting on the right there. And then it had, not their top of the line sub, but it was a fairly good sub, something I couldn't afford for sure. But did it make a difference? With headphones on, it made a stunning difference. And it wasn't what I thought it would be. It wasn't bass heavy. It allowed the top end to open up, and that's one of the problems I'm having with my ears, and that's why I switch these speakers around so much. On any given day, I can't hear, or it sounds like buzzing or muffled. So, after listening to that and doing some more research, I pulled out this old Yamaha again. And I separated the wires, and I did what they suggested. The main problem for the first main problem for hum is a ground loop, and so I hooked it up like they said into the same circuit connections that my stereo is hooked up into. So. And then I just ran some RCA cables over. Are they special? No. They're a little bit better than average, But they're also a little older than average, too. They're probably 10 years old, so I don't know if they weaken, how thick the strands of wire are inside that shielding. But here's what I did find out. After just adjusting a little bit, now this one ground fires in all four directions, and then it has a porthole going out the right side. So I reduced the sound, or I backed it off until I couldn't really hear it no more, and then came and sat here. Right now, what do we have playing? Right now, we just have the Dunleavys playing. And I know it's soft, but it's the best they've ever sounded. And I mean, they sound great. There's always been a thing about Dunleavys about they need a little bass. And actually, from my reading, the SC3s, which is what you're seeing in front of you, were preferred by recording engineers over the other ones, but you needed that bass. That's it. Anyways, that was my reading, and it holds true. But the same thing with the Lee Sungs over there, where you can finally see them, the eyeballs or the portholes, as I call them. Those need bass. You need a little help from those. They can't do it all. But so this is the Dunleavys. Let me turn this up a little bit. Of course, we're getting to the end of the song. That's not a bass-heavy song, but that's, to me, pleasant. It's that booming in my ears. Now, let's go over to the JBLs, which are a bass-heavy speaker. The JBLs will put the instruments forward, and the Dunleavys like to put the voice forward. Okay, well, the JBLs will blast at you. This is softening it up a little bit. And I can't tell where the bass is coming from. It's just there. It's like everywhere. Just like they said it would be. Maybe I'm just getting educated on things, but the bass is everywhere. My test is going to be when I do the Lee Sungs, which are going to be, they're run to a separate system because I can't hook up 3 speakers to my system yet. And may never buy that switch to do that. One of my favorite songs, and it's never been this smooth. So that leads to the second part of this. I've had the Lee Sungs, which are the porthole speakers, up for sale for a long time. As far as I can see, it's the only pair in the United States that's for sale. They're just over 1 year old. I just put a scuff in them and immediately dropped the price. I had them down to a quarter, 25% of what they costed just a little over a year ago, this weekend only. And the only reason I did that was because I wanted to get myself a new subwoofer while it's on sale. With regrets, because I truly love the way they look. They give a nice feeling to down here. People, with all the stuff that I put up on Facebook and the direct links to go to look at them, I mean, I'm telling you, they're brand new. except for the scuff I put in them, I can't find nothing else wrong with them. I put things down on them gently. Are they going to get scratched? Sooner or later, they're going to get scratched. Like anything shiny, piano gloss. Man, this sounds good. So, anyways, we got the last person sent. Can you send more pictures? I said, well, do you live close by? No response. This morning, I put all my Sansuis up for sale. And what I did was I went through Facebook and I went through the marketplace. Anything from Kansas, Wyoming, east. I looked for Sansui 1700s and 1500s. And whatever their price was, I went under them by $25 or $50. Get all sorts of offers today in the 1700s. Hey, will you take $125? Are you fucking nuts? I put videos up of my speakers playing. So you know you're not walking here and just getting something and guessing. You know, before you even come here, you have an idea of what you're going to be hearing. It's going to be better when you get here. But I look for deals on Marketplace too. But I don't ask people for 50% off. The Dunleavys, when I put them up, people wanted more than 50% off. They sold 10 years for that. Yeah, well, they don't sell for that now. People realize who John Dunleavy is, or Dunleavy, and I'm not sure that I would ever be able to get these again in this condition. I've seen one pair that were, I think I talked about this before, were actually pulling apart and the back plates were missing. And I could have got those at a decent price. They were the 4s, so they were a step up, but my gut feeling is that they were robbed of their original parts because they're hard to get to. Because I forget which driver is not manufactured anymore. So, and with John Dunleavy, each pair of speakers went into that chamber and he tuned them himself. Every pair, can you imagine that? Every pair he took into the chamber and tuned them himself. So my wife has just told me to pull these off the market. And I'm in agreement with her. I think I'm pretty much pulling everything that's sitting in front of you off the market. If my small speakers sell, they sell, and then I'll be able to get a better subwoofer. So this is pretty much, never did I think to put the JBLs where they were as far as speaker placement. And I'm really enjoying this. And even more so with the sub. I'm just shocked with this cheap ass sub. And I'm afraid to turn the system off because I don't want to hear that hum. I'm going to have to unplug it again. Hopefully it won't be there. But if that 17-year-old Yamaha sub can do this, I'm wondering what that REL can do. And it wasn't hard to adjust it. And I'm a novice at this. So it wasn't hard to adjust it. I don't need an app. I don't want another app on my phone. I don't need somebody telling me they're giving me something for free when you know they're damn well not. They're doing something with those apps. Christ, you can't even order a burger. Get it on an app. We'll give you a free fry. You think I'm selling my soul for a fry? Get out of here. But that's what happened this week. I don't want it to be a 40-minute thing again. But this is probably the way it's going to look now. I've been on the search for either Klipsch or La Scalas or Cornwalls or Fortes. My wife likes the Fortes. That's the only reason why. Because that sounds good to her ears. And she likes the blast of music. I'm telling you that 80 dB, 85 gets to be too loud for me. But she can handle a lot more than that. She's a rocker. All the posters you see in are her bands. I don't think I have a poster. So that's why we're doing that search. But now I'm curious what the heresies will sound like with this sub, because I just watched a video with the Robinsons talking about adding the rel sub to their heresies made their heresies sound a whole lot better. They look at them differently. They said it equals their the Cornwall. So I do have a lovely pair of heresies that I got from earlier that I have no intentions of selling. I like older stuff. I like the way it looks. I like the fact that if I put a nick in it, it already had a nick in it. So, you know. Anyways, that's my week. I think you're looking at, for now, today, the way my ears are operating, the new system. I still need something on the left hand to hold my the gear for the record players, but I guess I can walk over by the TV. You know, oddly enough, the TV used to be in the center. It would reflect me, which is not why I moved it. I didn't care about that. What I did care about was my wife's vivid imagination, and she said, "You're sitting there naked," and I've never been down here naked. Yeah. But if she's got that vision in her head, you know, I can't afford you guys to be thinking that either. So the TV's on the shelf to the right, and again, that thing, I just can't turn it on and keep it on. I'm thinking about getting a longer HDMI and running it to the system just to watch YouTube, but when I come down here, I just don't even want the TV on. I take naps with the music on. I sleep better than I do in bed. So we're at 17 minutes. Those two guys I told you about, JE Labs. You should take a look at what the guy does. I doubt that he's making any serious money. I don't know what he does for a living, but he's awful creative. And if you like jazz, he's a good place. And Dr. J or something. I'm not really quite sure what he does either, but at least he plays music, and he's into jazz too. And he's quite knowledgeable, and he does talking and comparisons and stuff that to help any one of you that are thinking about doing this. The other people, you know, telling you every product in the world is perfect. It's the new giant killer. You know, I can't take it anymore. I've tuned them out 3 months after I started buying stuff. You know, these people are done. I'll just find the demos and go based off of that, because we don't have that stereo store here. So that's my week. Did pick up a couple hundred more CDs, mostly classical. There were a couple Leonard Cohen's in there that delighted me and that I didn't even know existed, and it was just amazing. And I just got done with while I was setting this subwoofer up, I was listening to a Chinese, probably new age music, you know, just musical, and that was really good, really good. So those will be coming too, but they got to find a space. I got too much, and like I said, we're trying to sell the speakers. While I'm trying to sell the speakers to make money and also make room to get it to be more livable. My New Year's resolution was to get back on those weights, and I haven't made it yet. So I'm going to close this out because I'm closing to 20 minutes, and I know that the last one only got a few views, and this one's only going to get a few views. So, all right, have a good week.